King Abdullah II, may God bless him, chaired the National Policy Council meeting to learn about the developments of the measures of dealing with the pandemic, with the presence of Prince Al-Hussein bin Abdullah II. The Crown Prince, the King, stressed the importance of intensifying preventive and health measures during this period by way of scaling up testing for citizens in order to detect all and any possible case, God forbid, and to deal with them promptly without having them get contracted to others. And also he learned about the methods through which services are delivered to citizens and the matrix of the economic measures taken by the government with a view to helping the different industries damaged by this pandemic, helping them recover from the repercussions of the pandemic. As for the governorates in which we modified the quarantine and the lockdown measures, we've seen, according to the preliminary evaluation, we've seen good compliance from citizens in Aqaba, and we stress the importance of this to continue because this is in the interest of our citizens' health. And as for the other governorates where we started to modify the measures of lockdown today, we've seen different levels of compliance. We've received feedback indicating that safety and protection requirements are not complied with at some sites and enterprises. The same applies to some citizens as well, and therefore we stress the importance of complying with the announced measures and guidelines and following all health requirements and preventive measures. Otherwise, we will regretfully restore the restricted previous measures in the interest of your health and safety. We also note that the changes on the measures of lockdown are going to be subject to evaluation over the coming 2 days, and according to the level of compliance, we will decide the level of measures we're going to adopt. And we also stress that enterprises allowed to work, allowed to operate during the lockdown, have to comply with the guidelines of health and safety, and they are obligated to wear masks and to wear gloves and to maintain distances. And we urge them not to serve and not to provide the service for anyone who does not comply with these measures, noting that the inspection teams are going to revoke licenses from enterprises who do not comply with these instructions. We reiterate and we remind you of the decision of the complete lockdown on Friday throughout the kingdom, and we stress and confirm that this also includes those who have permits except for the nurses and the medical staff in both the private and the public sectors, in addition to the teams of epidemiological tracing and other public officials who are in charge of some essential and vital enterprises. As for Irbid, today it's been decided to end the isolation of Irbid, Boro, Soum al-Shanaq, al-Sarih, al-Mazar al-Shamari, al-Habaka, as of tomorrow, Thursday, April the 23rd, 2020. So citizens in this governorates are allowed to walk or to use and allowed to use their vehicles from 10 to 6 p.m. And that's within the borders of the provinces in the respective areas. And the governorate of Irbid will continue to be isolated from the rest of the governorates, and movements and travel between provinces will continue to be banned unless a person holds a special permit or upon the approval of the administrative governor. The time during which citizens are allowed to go out in Ramadan I would like to mention, while we said yesterday it's going to be from 10 to 6 p.m., we decided that because of the specificity of Ramadan and because the citizens need to shop, we decided to extend these hours. So they will be between 8 a.m. down to 6 p.m. And then afterwards, citizens are not allowed to go out unless for those who have permits. And we stress the importance of the the important role of the Social Security Corporation in protecting people who were damaged by the pandemic, and we stress the importance of having the enterprises and their staff covered by the umbrella of this corporation, because it ensures that all damages that might occur down the line will be compensated. Today we have the General Director of the Social Security Corporation with us, Dr. Rahah Lehi, who is going to tell us about the registration mechanisms and the facilitations made by the government for that purpose. We've been receiving several questions about the Tawjihi exam, the high school exam, the standardized exam, and I would like to mention that the Ministry of Education decided that the exam is going to be held on the scheduled time, the 1st of July, unless the health condition requires otherwise. The total number of those who got 24-hour permit through the platform was 180,000. 100,000 was for salary payment and collection, and 50,000 for medical visits to hospitals and humanitarian cases, 30,000 for the workers of commercial enterprises. The number of restaurants which finalized the measures needed to get a license for delivering food are now 2,000, and there will be a platform, delivery.mota.jo will be also available for these restaurants and for the dessert shops who will be selling according to the measures and the guidance set by the epidemiological committee. As for the applications by the Jordanian students who registered with the Ministry of Foreign and Expatriate Affairs, the beginning of the flights are going to be arranged in the coming 2 days. As we mentioned earlier, we have committed ourselves to being transparent and to ensure a seamless flow of information. However, in order to ensure the quality of information, we are going to make changes on the pace of these briefs and their nature. So these briefs, media briefs, will be conducted after the meetings of the Ministers' Council. If there are any developments that would need to be clarified, and that will be announced in advance. The Ministry of Health will continue to announce the number of cases if they exist, God forbid, and they will report the epidemic situation through an announcement that will be published through the media outlets. And we hope that health conditions will soon allow us to restore the press conferences with the presence of media outlets, representatives and journalists. Before I end, I'd like to say that the Minister of Industry and Trade is with us today, Dr. Tariq Al-Hammouri, who's going to tell us about the different industries and the measures that are related to them. May God protect you, and may God protect this country, its leadership, and the whole humanity from this pandemic. We're at your service, and we succeed with your compliance. In the name of God, most merciful, most compassionate, good evening, everybody. Happy Ramadan. We hope that we will witness many happy returns on the walk of the announcements of decisions to reopen a number of industries. And after communicating with a number of chambers of commerce, Jordan Chamber of Commerce, and the different players in these sectors, we decided to modify and amend these decisions following the principle that we've always been following. All of the decisions we issue are subject to changes upon feedback, and once we notice that there are flaws and there are changes that need to be introduced. As for the condition that require delivering items to the houses, this was cancelled for some sectors, including like the clothing and furniture stores, but it will apply for restaurants and the dessert shops, and those who are allowed to operate in the sector of food. Otherwise, other sectors in the different commercial commercial industries are no longer subject to this requirement delivery. As for other requirements that we have heard from the different entities and which were set in the first place to protect citizens, be it those related to the Social Security Corporation and coverage by the Social Security Corporation to protect citizens should they face any problem down the line or any damage down the line, including unemployment and so on, or the requirements that are related to e-payments and the use of e-wallets or the electronic cards, which have been requested and mandated upon the medical advice by the Minister of Health and the different medical committees. These are requirements that will continue to stand. However, over the next week, there will be committees throughout the governorates visiting all enterprises to educate them about the registration with the Social Security Corporation and about registering and about developing e-wallets. But we will not close down enterprises because they have not registered with the Social Security Corporation or because they have not developed their e-wallet during next week. But we hope that we will finalize these requirements by the end of next week, and we will continue our inspectory visits to ensure that health guidelines are complied with, and we hope that everybody is complying with the health requirements and guidance. And we stress that all enterprises, especially those who work with the public, should comply with these requirements, health requirements and health guidelines. This apply to all enterprises, whether the enterprises who have reopened recently or the ones who were operational even during the lockdown. They are requested to join the Social Security Corporation and to use e-payments and not to use cash, not to use notes, and this is in the interest of their health. A very common question we received in relation to qataif. Bakeries will be allowed to sell qataif during Ramadan. However, it is the qataif needs to be pre-prepared, it needs to be wrapped, and it may not be cooked on site with the presence of customers. So again, bakeries are allowed to sell qataif, which should be prepared and wrapped in advance. Happy Ramadan again. May God protect Jordan, its great people, and its wise leader. In the name of God, most merciful, most compassionate, good evening and happy Ramadan. As mentioned by the Minister of Media yesterday, a new platform was launched to cover enterprises, to allow enterprises to get subscribed with the Social Security Corporation, and a platform to apply for the 3 programs offered by the Defense Order number 9. Tadamun 1, Tadamun 2, and the 3rd program, and in the applications were 10,000 applying to benefit from the defense order. What I would like to stress here is that the that registration is very simple. The process used to take days to join the Social Security Corporation. It used to take days, but now it is very simple. The Social Security, in fact, is for your protection. It's not about making revenues. We're not in the business of getting more revenue now, and we are capable of dealing with the current situation. But the important thing here is that the Social Security Act has obligated all enterprises in the kingdom to get the coverage and to get registered with the Social Security. Social Security is not only retirement and pension. It provides protection against any employment-related risks, unemployment, and for maternity. All these insurances are important. You see, the conditions that we're going through and the programs that we have been launching in the Social Security Corporation stress and confirm that we are an umbrella for protection. As mentioned by the Minister of Industry, there will be a campaign helping enterprises, an educational campaign in order to help enterprises learn how to register with the platform through our teams. May God bless us. Good evening, everybody. Today we had 7 cases COVID positive. 3 are for lorry drivers from Amiri, 2 of whom are Jordanians, and 1 is an Arab national, and 2 cases whose father was infected, and they are the children of one of the infected drivers who came to the kingdom recently, and 1 contact of a case that we have in Prince Hamza, and we traced this case. And another case was for a person who checked with a private lab. We don't know what the source of the infection is. We are following up this, and we have utilized the help of the governor to help us do the epidemiological tracing, because in this case tracing can be complicated. So we have 435 COVID positive cases. 113 are still in the hospital, the rest have left. And as we mentioned earlier, and we stress that the decline in the number of cases does not mean that this illness has ceased, and this in fact means that we need to be in control and to stay the course, especially now that we are reopening the economy, and that Ramadan upon us, and like His Majesty said, we're going to do every possible effort in order to scale up testings over the next week. Today we have 2,500 cases, and we'll do our best in order to hit the number of 5,000 tests very soon. As mentioned by the Minister of Industry, exchanging cash and cash notes is one common way through which the infection gets spread, and therefore we advise that use e-payments, and we have published and posted instructions as to how to protect ourselves as we exchange cash notes. May God protect you, may God protect this country and the leadership. Peace be upon you.